Hello, I'm Mr. Spencer and this is Mrs. Lamb.
Hi.
And we're so excited about this year, getting to see y'all in person and work with you in person on AP Statistics. Now I have to tell you, AP Statistics is completely different than any other subject you've taken. Matter of fact, the other thing is we love this class. It is a lot of fun. That said, it is different. In most math classes, they give you a set of instructions. Sometimes it's a really difficult set, but you follow a set of instructions. This is a class on reasoning. And quite frankly, one thing that's different about statistics is there's always a chance. We don't always have that elegant right or wrong answer. And we're going to start off the year by introducing you to the entire subject in one day. You'll have to wait for that. Okay, so what is statistics? Well, it's basically collecting data, displaying that data, then we figure out the probability of that data, and then we make decisions about a population on that data. That said, that makes it very simple, and quite frankly, it is fairly simple. They have 4 basic units, and then our 5th one is our AP review. We typically hit the AP review or ready to begin it as soon as we come back from spring break. So we move rapidly, and there is a fair amount of work in this class. That said, we are always going to be available for tutoring, and we'll talk about that in a moment. The one thing I will say is be in class all the time and be ready to participate. This is a collaboration class. We talk a lot. Matter of fact, we believe in the talking so much that our quizzes are actually group quizzes, are almost all year long. We almost never deviate from that. And it makes a huge, huge change in the way students learn. Because quite frankly, I will say something and Mrs. Lamb will say something, and we think we've done a fabulous job, and the students get together and they actually are able to teach themselves better than we did because they are using their own language. And it's amazing how everyone in the group contributes. And in fact, when it comes to a group quiz, you're like, well, how does the grade work? Well, that's a good question. We grade one paper. And typically speaking, being a little bit lazy, I grade the one that has the least amount on it. So you need to always talk to your group. And the benefit of that is those students who are struggling actually learn from their teammates. And those who haven't, it solidifies what they know and helps them better express themselves, which is a huge help on the FRQ exams. As far as material for the class, you're going to need a binder to keep up with assignments. You will not need a textbook because we give you a note spiral to keep all your notes in, and it has all your, well, it has really pretty much everything you need to know about the class in it. And we highly recommend the TI-84. You will be able to check that out from the school. That's a Texas Instrument 84 calculator. You'll be able to check that out from the school. You can use the TI Inspire. It does have the functions, but we don't teach that in the class. We will teach you how to use the 84, so we highly recommend you get an 84. And if you refuse to get it, it may not be available later on in the year. That said, we will be able to check those out here in about a week and a half. Ms. Lamb.
So as far as the work that Mr. Spencer is talking about, this being an AP course, you are going to have to keep up with work on time. Like he said, we are going to do group quizzes, and so you want to be able to contribute to your group well and make sure that you're prepared for that. So on your classwork assignments, we highly, highly, highly suggest that you get that done on time as we have suggested on the calendar. You know, there's always that late work, but when you turn it in late, then you've missed out on some important opportunities to learn and grow so that you're better prepared for those quizzes and those tests. So classwork is worth 15% of your grade. Sometimes your classwork may actually be a video that you watch and you record your notes in your journal. We're not going to do that all the time, but that's going to be sprinkled in there sometimes. Also, your classwork may be a traditional worksheet, or it might be something that you do on GoFormative or another online platform or through AP Classroom. So we'll have different varieties of how homework looks like, and everything's super organized on our student calendar that you can find in the Google Classroom and on our websites. Like Mr. Spencer said, on quizzes, they are generally a group quiz, which is really nice. 4 heads are better than just the one. Sometimes it comes down to 1 word difference, whether you get full credit or half credit on these FRQ problems in AP Stats, or a symbol is just misplaced and it causes that half credit difference. So having extra people making sure that you write what you really mean and being able to articulate that in writing is super important, and that's why we really believe in these group quizzes, that you guys will feed off of each other, make sure you got each other's back, and you'll learn a lot more that way. So quizzes will happen on a very regular basis. Like I said, they tie with the homework, so make sure you get your homework done on time so that these quizzes are gonna go off really well. Your quizzes are worth 25% of your grade. Then we have our test. Your tests are broken into 2 parts. We'll have a multiple choice section and we're gonna have an FRQ section. This is modeling the real exam in May. So we want to be able to practice that all year long, because every time we do these mock exams like that, you're gonna be getting stronger and more confident in your test taking skills. So in May, you're gonna totally rock it.
Yes, 5s.
Yes, 5s. So you'll have one day that's an FRQ only, and then a separate day that is just multiple choice only. The grading on these is going to vary. As you know, the highest score that you can get on an AP exam is a 5, and typically that's around a 70-ish%. So normally we scale it in some way. So that'll apply to your multiple choice and your FRQ test, and we'll talk more about that grading scale for each test because it could be different for each unit. It just depends. So your tests are worth 60% of your overall grade. Talking about the AP exam, we are really hoping that everybody takes it because we really feel like this class is going to totally prepare you. Like Mr. Spencer said, our game plan is the whole 4th quarter is nothing but review. And we find that this really helps ensure really great scores at the end. So with that in mind, what we like to do though is always get some feedback of how the AP exam went. So at the end of the year, after the AP exam, there will be a mandatory assignment for all students to do the survey about how they felt about the AP exam and how it compared to how we prepared you in class. If for some reason you did not take the AP exam, which I hope is not going to be a lot of you, but if you did not, then you will be required to still do this assignment, but that means since you didn't take the AP exam, you'll probably take a mock exam instead so that we can make sure that everybody has a say in how they felt the course prepared them for that AP exam.
Take the AP exam.
Take the AP exam. We have really great success. I know that it can feel kind of like daunting, oh my gosh, it's math, but like Mr. Spencer said before, this is a math course unlike any other math course you've ever done, and we do a really great job of making it more fun than a normal math class. And the topics, you'll never have to ask, when will I use this in the real world? Because every day, every problem, that's exactly what we're doing. Statistics is really great that way because it's a math that all studies, any major that you think you might want to get into in college, generally has a statistic course to go with it, like business and medicine and all of them. They have their own stats class. So you'll find that this is very real world applicable. So I've got your grading breakdown in the syllabus too, so you can be reminded of how that goes. The semester exam, and the first one in the fall, everybody has to take. You cannot exempt it. It is worth 20% of your overall grade. The one in the spring, you may be able to exempt it depending on attendance and your grade in the class, and who knows what other things they might pop up. If you've been with us, you know that there's other factors because of the COVID and things like that. So we'll get there when we get there, but you might be able to exempt in the spring. As for makeup work, again, we really, really, really need you guys to get this done on a timely manner so that you are always prepared for things. As you know, with a lot of courses, concepts build. So if you're not doing it on time, you could be, snowballing into a place where you really are confused and lost. So you want to make sure that you get that done. Because we have the calendar, you can even get work ahead of time, see it, and so that you're never really behind. And if you do have to do late work, again, we're going to follow the district policy of penalty of 20%.
So you heard all of that, and it kind of gets a little daunting. You're like, my gosh, there's a lot of work. And you know what? I'm not going to lie, there's work. That said, we've been really careful about what we do. And a lot of times your work is like, hey, I need to go home and watch this video, and that will be your work for the evening so that you have class time to do the actual work in class. But you won't be able to do the work if you don't do the video. So please keep up with that. That said, we are here to support you. We can basically say we will have morning coaching almost every day. The only exception to that is Wednesdays. There will be no morning coaching on Wednesdays because we have meetings. And then on Tuesday afternoons, we won't have coaching in the afternoon because we also have early release and meetings on Tuesday afternoon. So let me back up. Wednesday morning and Tuesday afternoon, no coaching, but we'll have coaching before and after school other than that. In addition, We're going to have online office hours that'll run through Zoom on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and those will run probably from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. And they'll be posted on the calendar so you'll know when and how to access it. When it comes to tutoring, we consider AP Stat students our students. They're not my students, they're not Mrs. Lamb's students, they're our students. And we will work with both of them. Sometimes you'll see Mrs. Lamb's videos, sometimes you'll see my videos, and we will tutor everybody. And so please feel free to come to whoever is offering tutoring at that time. We do not limit this based on the teacher. You come to either one of us and we will help you out and see that you're successful. In addition to that, we also do usually right before we have an exam, we have a Stats Saturday where we'll come up to the school on a Saturday. It's completely optional, but it's to help people with last minute questions, and we usually will spend about 3 hours. And I've been told sometimes that there's things like donuts and tacos. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever been to one that didn't have either donuts or tacos. And most of the time students go, gosh, I didn't even feel like I was working, because they're having a good time. And quite frankly, we are too. And we look forward to this year. This is going to be an awesome year. Can't wait to see you in class. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I know. Woohoo, big hearts.
Awesome.